What's up, everybody? I'm calling this Talk Time Tuesday just because I thought I'm maybe driving for a few minutes. Why not talk to you guys for no particular reason? We'll see what you guys have to say. Whatever pops into the chat, we'll have a little driving conversation about. I'm on my way, just leave my neighborhood. Mike Mays, what's up? Head over to meet my buddy, 80s Broncos fan, as well as a couple of my buddies from childhood. They always get together Tuesdays at Aiden Fam, what's up? At the Chick-fil-A down in South Center. It's kind of a weekly sort of guys get together, so I'm gonna head down there and got a few things to exchange, business to talk about. Well, I figure for the next 20 minutes, why not see what's on your guys' mind? What's up, everybody? Don't tell anybody I'm doing this, and I'm supposed to technically be doing this. Driving and live streaming. Eric and Andrew and Rishi, Hiroshi, Haki, Jake, Casey Sports Nerd. What's up? I enjoyed being in Kansas City and visiting your state, or at least your city. I had a very nice time 2 weekends ago. Mostly just doing volleyball, but enjoyed the barbecue, the taste of Kansas City. Went to place called Jack's. It was awesome. Loved it. Illegal live stream. Shh. Don't tell anybody where I'm at. I could get in trouble for this. I'm already on probation because I had a speeding ticket last year, and I basically plea bargained. I took the probation, sort of like plead guilty. If they said it won't put it on your record as long as you don't have another moving violation for a year. So I have to be moving violation free for about another 2 months, and I think I'm off the hook. So I'm very careful about not speeding these days, but technically this would be a moving violation if I got in trouble. Somebody said they're excited because Russell Wilson is back in practice. Yes, he is. Mandatory mini camps. Russell Wilson, DK, all the boys, B-Wags, everybody's in the building. KJ Wright, of course, not, because he's not signed technically yet. I see people saying stuff about Andrew said we should cut Trey Flowers. Yeah, but why cut him, right? I mean, is it just because you don't like him, or because I don't think it's going to provide us some huge salary cap depth or anything like that? And we're going to need some depth, even if you don't like him as your starting corner. I'm not thrilled about him myself either. But in case somebody goes down, you got to have someone behind him, right? You can't empty the cupboards completely. Let's see what else we got here. Noel wants to know what I think about the Jones news. I wasn't that disappointed. We're going to talk a little bit about it tomorrow on the round table. Not a whole lot of time, a little bit. But I didn't really think it was something that we really needed to do anyway, given that I think our wide receiving core is awesome. We didn't really need to spend all that draft capital and salary to get Julio Jones. Would I like to? Yeah, sure. But as always, at what cost? Everybody comes at a cost. I just don't think it's where we need to spend our money. If I want to spend any more money, I want to spend it on the defense at this point. Cameron Hughes says you can just have Trey Flowers to take a pay cut. You did the same with David Moore last year. Yeah, it's not like he's going to have teams just itching to have his services, right? It's not like he's some top 5 cornerback out there. I was going to say too, if you guys get an opportunity, send a message over to Coach Marsh, Coach for Life. Without going into any detail, he is dealing with some medical things right now, which is why we didn't do a Coach's Corner tonight. and he won't be on the show tomorrow. I'm not sure when he'll be back, hopefully soon, but it's going to be some time. So send some well wishes to Coach Marsh if you get a chance. Coach, if you're watching this, I know how you like to watch my live streams when I'm driving. I hope you're doing all right. Wishing you to speedy recovery, and hope you'll be back with us soon. And is it Hakil? Can't read it, it's too small. Star Wars 123 says, do Madden. Yeah, missed you yesterday, man. I was doing a Madden yesterday. Unfortunately, my internet connection on Comcast Xfinity was kind of in and out, so the the coaching chat was not working very steadily. It was like in and out, very frustrating. Hopefully next time it won't work, or it won't be like that, and it'll work better. Tomorrow should be fun. At 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to be doing a one-on-one interview with Sports Live in the ATL, David, Atlanta Falcons, a really Atlanta all sports fan down in Atlanta. We've collabed many times. We've done bets on games. He's lost some, I've lost some. He's won some, I've won some, and we've always had some good collabs. But we're going to talk a little bit about the Julio Jones thing tomorrow from an Atlanta Falcons fan perspective, and also just kind of get the whole feel of what does that mean for the NFC South. You know, kind of feel bad for the Falcons, although I shouldn't feel that bad because they've messed us up more than one occasion in the playoffs. But they're one of those teams that really, if a window was open, that a team with a ton of talent and everything sort of should have come together, they should have at least one Super Bowl ring, maybe more, given what they had at the peak of their talent. Obviously, we all know about Super Bowl 51 and that being the biggest miss of all time, given the lead that they had. But, you know, it's as a feel for Falcons fans in that regard, because you always feel like, you know, every team's got a window, right? Seattle's had multiple windows, and really this window's kind of been open for a long time. When you think about it, we have one ring, should have had two. And if we'd had two, we probably would have had more. But we at least have the one. We have the one to show for the 2010 decade. Now we enter the 2020 decade. How many chances will we get at that? But for Atlanta, they had definitely a ton of time in the 2010 decade, you know, being in the playoffs multiple times, NFC Championships, could never get it done. And now it seems like the start of the end, with the first domino to fall, Julio Jones, being kind of the first one. I feel like a major reboot is in order here. Pedro's daddy wants to know, is Seattle going to re-sign KJ Wright? Yeah, I hope so. It hasn't happened yet, but really time's not too big of a deal, because any of this could happen any time between now and the regular season. As long as KJ Wright stays in shape and is game ready, that's the biggest thing right now. He's obviously the disadvantage. He's not able to practice with the team or work out with the team, so he doesn't have that, doesn't have that gelling with the team. But he's a veteran, you know. He can run with it. It's not like they're overhauling the defense or anything. It's the offense that's going to really need the reps because of the new system they're putting in. Can't wait to see that, especially when training camp kicks in. Cameron Hughes said something. There's a difference between depth and potential at the position. I'd say we have a ton of potential at wide receiver, but absolutely no guaranteed depth. Like Golden Tate could get you a guaranteed 500 yards. That's a good point. But Julio Jones is not a depth move. I mean, you're getting a guy who you feel like you're missing that piece. The Titans obviously felt like they're missing that one piece that could turn the season around, catapult them to get beyond a one and done playoff appearance. Would Julio Jones have done that for Seattle? I just don't know. I feel like with already two legit number 1 and 2 receivers, sometimes you could have too much, I think. too many egos, too many big, ego guys in the wide receiving room all wanting the ball could be a negative thing. And between Lockett and DK, that's two guys. Not that Lockett has a big ego or anything. We know what DK does. We've seen him. You can imagine him and Julio Jones. It'd be great to see him just tearing it up. But you can also see those guys, like fighting for air time, for reception time. And if that didn't gel, how much of a mess would that potentially be? We'll see. It's an interesting match, though, Tennessee Titans, because they're not exactly, the big throw it downfield type of team. At least doesn't seem like it. We'll see if Tannehill can take advantage of that weapon. But, it's a done deal, so there's not much really to discuss. Star Wars 123 does say, do you think we can beat the Titans with Julio Jones there? It's going to be an interesting matchup. Trying to think back at how many times we played the Titans. I was there in Tennessee one time when we played the Titans, and so the last time we played them on the road, it's a hot game. I remember my phone, I couldn't even stream because at one point it was so hot, my phone overheated and I couldn't stream the game. It was a horrible game though. We lost that game. It kind of ended up being relatively close, but it felt like it wasn't. I remember that game. This is all obviously before the look of the Titans now, with Derrick Henry and all those. It's a whole different team. But I remember that was when we still had the LOB and the defense that you would consider one of the best defenses of all time. And I remember watching that game, and we were getting burned on a number of occasions. And I think we just looked. I remember me and Pat were watching it, and we looked at each other and said, man, our defense kind of looks old out there. They just look slow, a step behind, and kind of tired. And it's weird to be saying that because in our minds, everybody has this, they hold up the LOB era defense as like the greatest defense of all time, could never go wrong. But you remember there are other games when we had that team, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Sherman, KJ, Bobby, and Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, and going, man, they don't look good out there. Now maybe they're just too hot. Maybe it was too hot for them. Maybe the heat got to them and they just weren't used to it and they couldn't function. But I remember feeling like, wow, I don't know, man. Maybe this defense is hitting its expiration date. I can't remember what year that was. 2000. It was when I tore my hamstring because I had to go on the road and crutches walking around Tennessee. Is it 2017? That year, or was it? It must be because it's 17, 4 years apart. So yeah, that was the last time we played him was on the road, 2017. But yeah, that was not good memories of that last Titans meetup. Prior to that, I remember very happy things because that was the year we played them at home. Hauschka, I remember, it was Hauschka. Yeah, Hauschka making a tackle on a kick return, got all bloodied from it. We've had probably the most bloodied kickers. John Ryan's gotten bloodied. Hauschka's gotten bloodied trying to make a tackle. He didn't make the tackle. He was more like the hitting dummy that the running back ran into and got tripped up by. But man, he paid the price for it. I was like, don't make any more tackles, dude. And Michael Dixon, we don't want him making any tackles anymore. And that guy's worth every penny of his brand new expensive contract. But don't be taking any unnecessary chances because we're going to need you and that golden foot of yours. And so it's going to be an interesting matchup. What I liked about that 2013 game was that was where they first gave away those NorbCam. Well, it's now my NorbCam signature green hair band thing, but that's the first time it was ever given out. So that game has special meaning because that's the first time I ever saw those things. They've given it out several times since then and kind of marketed it, but that was the very first time it made its appearance. So something special about that Tennessee Titans game. I believe we won that game too. Entering Tequila, getting close to South Center down here, for those of you from the area. Cameron Hughes, fun fact, Ryan Fitzpatrick started that game. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been around the block, hasn't he? That guy's been around the block more than a ice cream truck on a hot summer day. What do I think about Jamal Adams not coming to OTAs today. Yeah, it's concerning. I'm trying to keep an optimistic mindset that Seattle would not have given up all that stuff if they weren't hell-bent on getting a long-term deal done. I do hope that this doesn't drag out, become one of those issues. It's not that big of a concern, like I said, to miss mandatory camp. You never like to see it, but we've seen plenty of great players do it. And Boelter Jones, the Hall of Fame left tackle, never went to mandatory minicamp. He would just pull his SUV all over the place, and that would be his workout, and he was just fine. Jamal Adams, doesn't have to be there, but hopefully they get everything worked out so by training camp he's out there happy and set for the long term. That's what needs to happen. Joey wants to know too, do I think KJ Wright's coming back? I'm still holding out hope that we're going to hear that surprise tweet or breaking news that KJ Wright has been re-signed. But it hasn't happened yet. It's taking a little longer. Thought maybe it'd happen after the draft. After the draft, this hasn't happened. But Rise of Nations wants to know what's the breakout player prediction. It could be one of these receivers, man. It could be our could be Eskridge, could be Terry. There's a lot of hype about what this guy could do. That's why I feel like I'm so excited about I feel like the wide receiving core is sort of like all these Christmas presents that are sitting under the tree that are going to be good. They're not going to be sucky presents like clothes, like when you're a kid and you get clothes that sucked. It's not going to be some lame, fruit cake or something. It's going to be like a really cool toy, like a Tyco racing track or, video game or Legos or something. And you just can't wait to see when you open it how good it's going to be, how much fun it's going to be. That's why I feel like this wide receiving core is. There's so many fun new toys along with this fun new offensive system that I just think it's going to be really cool to watch how this German Shepherd puppies for giveaway. So that knowing that's waiting, I feel like that's again why I didn't feel like we so badly needed Julio Jones, because we've got so many toys yet to uncover. So yeah, breakout player, I feel like one of these guys in the receiving area is going to be lighting it up. Can't wait. Almost to the destination, almost to the Chick-fil-A here in Rise of Nations. Says Eskridge would be a great third string wide receiver, I think is what he's trying to say. Yes. I think not third string, I think number 3 receiver is what you mean by that. Blair may get a chance at his natural position if Adams holds out. Yeah, we never got to see him in what he was going to do last year, barely, because he got injured so early in the season with being the nickel corner / safety. But I'm excited about the offense. I'm nervously optimistic about the defense. That's the thing. Now, where are my fellas at? We usually meet over here in the corner between this craft store and the Chick-fil-A. So I'm just gonna wait for the pals to show up. They might be right behind me, actually. Let's see. Anyway. Oh, yep, there's one of them. There's my buddy Rob, who's known since kindergarten. All right, well, I'm gonna sign up. Jose, what's up, man? Football J got the Seahawks going 13-4. I like that record. Seahawks is looking good, says Rise of Nations. All right, I'm gonna run. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. Might do this again sometime. It's pretty cool. Talk to y'all later. Go Hawks.